Hey everybody, ABC 10 meteorologist Brenden Mincheff here with a look at the forecast, and it's going to be not so bad the next couple of days, very at or below seasonal, but high pressure will be building in as the week goes on, so I am tracking some triple digits by the time we get to about Thursday and Friday. But I'd be remiss if I don't recap the very nice holiday weekend that we just had. Even though July started off fairly warm in those mid to upper 90s across the valley, by Thursday, July 3rd, it was in the mid 80s. We stayed in the mid 80s for the 4th of July, which was the nicest 4th of July that we had since 2022, and significantly nicer than the previous 4th of July. It was 106 back in 2024. So yeah, the holiday was very nice. Saturday is pretty nice as well, mid to upper 80s for most places, some low 90s. And then Sunday, we did go back above normal when we made it to 94 in Sacramento. Monday was just 90 degrees, a couple degrees cooler than normal. Tuesday will stay below that average high of 92 in the upper 80s to low 90s. But again, a warm-up is on the way. More on that in a second. 88 Tuesday afternoon in Sacramento, 89 in Stockton, 93 Modesto, 94 in Colusa, 91 in Angels Camp, 87 in Auburn, 82 Truckee, 80 in South Lake Tahoe across the San Joaquin Valley. Looking at those upper 80s to low 90s on Tuesday afternoon. Again, at or just below normal for the time of year. Tuesday, 88 in Sacramento, about 89 Rancho Cordova, 90 in Roseville, 91 up in Lincoln, 90 Rancho Murrieta, 88 in Wilton, 88 in Lodi, 85 Walnut Grove. Out in Vacaville, Fairfield, low to mid 80s, maybe a few clouds out there. Generally, though, Tuesday is going to be very nice, especially by July standards, when we can easily be in the upper 90s to triple digits. As we look at winds, Tuesday morning is going to start off fairly breezy, 10 to 15, maybe even 20 miles per hour across much of the valley, still closer to 25 out through the Delta. That could allow for a little bit of that marine stratus to work its way into the Delta and parts of the lower Sacramento Valley. But Tuesday afternoon and evening, we're looking at another widespread fairly strong Delta breeze. It'll also be gusty on the eastern slope of the Sierra, as it has been for much of the last several days. Not quite as breezy, though, to start Wednesday morning. As we look at Futurecast early Tuesday morning, this is what I was talking about. Because of that strong Delta breeze that'll be continuing, we could see some of that marine stratus coming on through. Not every model is showing this. The graph model that I'm showing here has been picking up on this. So I'm not really talking fog. I don't expect this to be right at the surface. If we see anything at all, it'll likely be just off the surface. So visibility won't be greatly reduced, if at all. But we all know that marine stratus, right? It's just that really low cloud cover that comes in early in the morning sometimes. I think Tuesday morning could be an opportunity for that, potentially some Wednesday morning as well, but the Delta breeze should be a little weaker for Wednesday morning, so we'll just kind of wait and see if that develops. Although even though we have that strong Delta breeze, it doesn't always mean that marine stratus makes its way in. It's very finicky when we start talking about that marine layer and that marine air. We've been cooler to start this work week. For Monday, it will be cooler Tuesday as well because of that lingering low pressure just off the coast. But by the time we get to Wednesday, it starts to move out. By Thursday and Friday, only high pressure is driving the weather pattern. This means temperatures are going to climb. We'll be looking at widespread triple digits for the end of the work week as that high pressure sits right overhead. And because it's overhead, we'll be looking at a subdued Delta breeze as well. I still expect that we see that onshore wind. It just won't be as strong. The high pressure doesn't move much, though, as we go Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday of next week. So continue to expect these warmer than normal temperatures in the mid to upper 90s and potentially even some low triple digits through the weekend and into next week. Here in Sacramento, this is what it's looking like for the next few days. At the departure from normal, 4 degrees cooler on Tuesday as we're in those upper 80s. Perfectly seasonal on Wednesday as we climb to about 93. And then Thursday and Friday, as that heat peaks, and I expect some triple digits. I've got 101 in Sacramento Thursday, Friday. That'll be 8 degrees warmer than normal. We do come down a little bit Saturday and through the rest of the weekend, mid to upper 90s, but that'll still be close to 5 degrees above normal for the time of year. All that to say, let's think back to this time last year. 10 of the first 12 days of July were at or above 100 degrees. Twice we made it to 110. That was July 6th and July 11th of 2024, made it to 110. And over this 12-day period, the average high temperature was 104.4 degrees. So July 2024 started off historically hot, and then we had more triple digits towards the latter half of July. So even though we're talking about a couple of days in the triple digits coming up, it's still so much better than July of last year. I do also have to touch on, though, the fire danger. It is just seasonally elevated because we are going to have those onshore winds. Anytime we get wind and the fields are dry, it can serve to spread fires around. So we just have to be mindful of that. It's not a north wind where we're looking at, obviously, that kind of fire danger to be even more significant, potentially that critical level whenever we get those dry north winds. That's not what we're talking about. Just some gusty onshore winds that will spread up through the valley. So through midweek, we're looking at normally dry conditions with that delta breeze and lower humidity during the afternoons when it is particularly warm. So I'm just showing this to remember. You got to be mindful of that elevated fire danger this time of year because it's only going to continue to go up until we get back to the rainy season in the fall, and only rain will make that fire danger go back down. Over the next 5 days in the foothills, we're going to be in those mid to upper 80s Tuesday, Wednesday, then mid to upper 90s Thursday through the start of the weekend. For the high country, about 80 on Tuesday, a little cooler Wednesday, mid to upper 70s, and then the heat starts to climb by Friday, Saturday. We'll be looking at mid 80s in the high country. In the valley, it is a warming trend. 88 on Tuesday, below normal, very seasonal on Wednesday as we approach those low to mid 90s, and then Thursday about 101 degrees. Thursday, Friday is the peak of the heat when I expect widespread triple digits across the valley. 90s still above normal, but mid to upper 90s Saturday and Sunday and Monday. Temperatures may come down a little bit towards the middle and end of next week, but we're still going to be very normal for the time of year in those low to middle 90s, talking about 93, 94 degrees. So we're not looking at an extreme warm up, but certainly Thursday, Friday is going to be warmer than we've been in at least a couple of weeks, right, with those widespread triple digits. Be sure to download the ABC 10 Plus app. If you haven't already, you can download it wherever you stream. We've got a weather playlist there with extended forecasts like this one, weather explainers, fire weather specials, and we've got weather and climate specials up there as well. That's all under the weather playlist on ABC 10 Plus. Thanks for watching.